Stretching out, getting ready for tonight. Um, Hi YouTube, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're practicing that self-care. Hey, we tend to do this mostly. Fridays are now Oshino Coast streams, and Sundays are open day streams. That means any anime you guys go ahead and pick from. A wide selection that we have on the analyst is free game, and we go ahead and review it, watch it, the whole entire thing. Hope you guys are practicing that self-care. We have been getting through Sangatsu no Lion. We were supposed to finish it in March, but it's 20-something episodes, and we're 5 away from finishing after this one. So it's going to be an absolute journey. Honestly, I'm excited. I'm excited to see where the show takes us. It's been time and time again where we've literally just been hitting the field strip harder than what happened in the first episode. Hey, oh no. That made you happy, monkey. We got lots of bananas. Oh, thank you. With that being said, why don't we go and jump into it? You guys already know I'm loving this show. We're going to go ahead and skip the intro to make life easier for our editors and just go straight into it. Hope you guys can hear that. Damn, they book out a whole hotel and everything for the match?
Oi! Kiriyama! 二階堂。兄者は今控え室で取材中だ。今回は20回記念で前夜祭の前にファンの集いもあるからな。明日から対局なのに兄者たちは大変だ。ファンの集いは3時からだ。始まったらなるべく会場で兄者のそばにいてくれ。なあ、本当にいいの？俺たち関係ないのにそばにいてさ。関係ない？同じ研究会だろ。しかも俺は弟弟子だぞ。おい！大勢の慣れない人に周りを囲まれて気を張って対局前日に疲れちゃわないようにそばにいたいんだ。
Fair。
知った顔が近くにいればホッとするだろ。兄者は人一倍気を使ってしまう人だから。なんだ？あ、いや、なんでもない。わかった。二階堂、ひょっとしてお前、俺より大人なのか
？Well, that's actually something I'm about to touch on. Guys, for you personally, if you're on a sport or something, how do you feel whenever a loved one or friends are near you? Usually, I know supports can be a big thing for a lot of people, but sometimes I get extremely nervous whenever a loved one or another individual is close to me, you know? And the more that I process it and think about it, and the more that I go through a situation like that, the more I I'm like, I see some similarities in the art style with your Lion April. I mean, similar art style. Wait, is it? Is it from the same studio, guys, or not? Is there some connection? New Noodler, good question. Good question. But I gotta ask you guys this question, and this is a genuine question that I'm throwing out there. How do you guys deal with family showing up to events? If it's family or if it's even loved ones, right? Not even your partner. I'm talking about like really, really close friends or, brothers, sisters. Do you guys deal with it okay? I think being supportive and knowing the way that you want to be supported is huge. This is something I will always ask you guys, like, in what way can I best support you, right? Because if you have performance anxiety and I show up and, me being there adds to the pressure, that's not going to be good, right? If you tell me, hey, you know what, you can support me from home, you can send me pictures and stuff after I'm done with the match, 101 ways, right? Or after I'm done, you can come through and we can go out for dinner or something. I think that would go a little bit further than where my mind is at. So I still have the sheets from the other anime we watched. So that's where I'm like, what ways to support me here and how can we move on? But also, it's really cute, man. Actual friendships like this are rare nowadays. Honestly, I kind of I'm even looking back and I'm like, I kind of wish I had a good friendship like this when I was in high school. I remember being embarrassed when my family came to my events. Wait, T, what events did you do? Now I'm kind of curious. Nude? Aw, dude. A new doodler.
いざその時に舞い上がって集中力を変えたりしないで済むように。あ、いざって 自分がタイトル戦に出る時のことに決まってるだろう。サクッと言ったな今。さも当然みたいな感じで。今俺たちまだ C1 と C2 だぞ。出るさ。絶対にタイトルに挑戦する。そう決めている。そう思わないでどうしてやっていける？二階堂。
Fair.
そういった二階堂の顔を見て、少なからず僕は動揺した。
Thanks so much for the follow, Emrakin.
じゃあ3時になったらまた会場でな。
Chess championships. Oh shit, I didn't know that.
僕がぐるぐる迷っている間に、同年代の彼はすでに覚悟を固めていたのだ。
I think when stating your goals and your intentions, I think that's awesome, and that makes things very, very clear. Like, I'm gonna ask this of you guys: what are your goals? Legit. Because I think having goals and actually attainable goals is something that it sounds nerdy, and I know it sounds like ew, psychology question, but like truthfully, it's at least something that you can start checking off as you go along the way, and it gives you something to live for. It motivates you to go ahead and do something to become a math teacher. Okay, and what steps are you taking to become that math teacher? Easy. I'll be honest, I'll share this. Because I've done martial arts and I've done a lot of things throughout my life, when I came to martial art competition, I could never get away from my parents, as it was a generational thing, right? It was like a dojo, like being passed down from person to person to person down. When it came to specifically a partner being there, showing up to one of my events, my anxiety rose. I could still fight, I could still do everything, but just them hearing, for example, I have to take punches and kicks and everything, and there are literal, like, I'll throw up some videos on the Discord of me training people, all these LFC and upcoming UFC fighters, whatnot. But quite literally, like, you have to take a kick to the face, right? And sometimes that can leave your face completely, like, you know, purple, red, all kinds of colors depending on the amount of force and whatnot. And I remember one of my partners just freaking out and hearing their cries, right? Because it was like a 3-4 minute competition, 3-minute rounds, 3-minute rounds. So like you could go hard. What ended up happening anyway was the more that I kept hearing them cry, the more my like anxiety I got, which is why, like, in terms of support structure, oftentimes what I would say is like, put them off, put them aside, you know, whenever it comes to someone that like genuinely makes you anxious in that way. Because the way that I've been raised to go ahead and take support when it comes to like competitions and stuff is literally to be coached, and not really to be like, for people to like show like extreme emotions, you know, unless I'm in a big arena or whatnot. I kind of stopped having goals once I got in Japan. Now I think of self-improvement a little bit. Also, like, mods, can we give a shout out to Kyle's? Please? That must be scary for a partner to watch. It can be. It can be absolutely terrifying. I usually do pretty well. You know, I'm not going to say I win every time, but I do really, really well whenever I fight. Guys, in case you guys don't know who Kyle's is an incredible VTuber. Kyle's is a queen. Kyle's is our queen. You know, one of our queens, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all should go show some love and support to Kyle's. They're literally family at this point. I can't state it enough. Incredible content creator, YouTube, whenever this goes live. Aside from checking in your goals, you should also check out Kyle's, because when I say that they have had, in a short amount of time as a friend, they've already started to have an impact in my life, I mean that genuinely, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Go show some love and support to Kyle's, guys. If you guys love literally pretty much good entertainment, some a good community, good healthy community, it's stuff to do with, you know, like conversations that you can actually hold a conversation with anime about and open up, being vulnerable and all of that. Show some love and support, please. You are the queen, but I still won't pay my taxes regardless. But through that, what are your goals? And I'm gonna keep throwing this out there. AZ, I know your goal is to be a math teacher, but what steps are you taking? Kyle's, what are your goals? Rainy Winners, what is your goals? T, what is your goal? Like, what is your end goal that is keeping you motivated and that is making you work day to day to day? And this is why I love what he just did in the anime, in the show. He quite literally just stated his goals to go ahead and like be at the final match one day, right? He's not really giving a definitive time, which I would have kind of wanted, but he's taking the steps, he's taking the workshops, he's encouraging his friends. And I kind of wish we all had a friend like him. I'm not gonna lie.
お前に会ったら言わないといかんと思っていた。お前、トーナメントの賞金や対局料、
Oh,
生活
Kyle.
費以外はほとんどうちに振り込んでるだろう。今まで世話になった分と、お前のことだから思ってるんだろうが、そんなことは考えなくていいんだぞ。
Oh.
でもそういうわけには。
いいじゃんこうだ。そのままお前が預かっておけば、どうせ学費大金持たすと言ったらろくなことに使わないんだし。
会長、例はそんな子じゃありません。
そっか。それにそういえば、これだけガキだとタイプ云々より金の使い道がまだねえのか。かわいそうに。せっかくの小金持ちなのに使い道がねえとは。あとは女か。わがままな彼女に入れ込んで貢ぐぐらいか。どうなのそっち方面は。
I mean, there's a lot of guilt at play. I love the chairman, but his advice. Okay, hold on. I don't even know how to fucking phrase this. While the chairman's advice, right, to go ahead and spend money on what you want, I will say, yeah, you know, pay your bills and all of that, right? But also, you know, chairman, there's better ways of wording this rather than going after it. And with that, let me just touch on a big aspect. I wonder if he's just trying to get a response of any kind. It is. It seems like an old man literally just trying to say for a person to live out your youth, right? It's good to treat yourself after you take necessities. And this is where the big question comes in. And Kyle's, if you're still here, I'm never mind. I'm just gonna ask this to everyone in general. From 0 to 18, it goes by really quickly. I know when you're in it, you're like, holy shit, it's taking forever. But trust me, in the blink of an eye, it goes by insanely quick. Aside from all the responsibilities, oh, how do I ask this? Aside from all the responsibilities that life may throw at us, do you feel like you were a kid? Do you feel like you got to spend your money and your time being the best version of you that you could be? Do you feel as though your capabilities and your ability to like spend time with friends and not worry about some of the trauma or some of the stuff that may be happening at home is there? Yeah, I know it's a loaded question, but it's there for a reason, right? Because the whole paying his dad or his father figure and whatnot, it's oof. I understand what he's going for. There's a lot of guilt. There's a lot of sensations of I owe you for a scenario and whatnot. But through this, I think it's a big communication system that needs to be worked out between that. I know I'm trying to go ahead as an adult. Oh boy, my inner child died too soon, and I've been trying to raise it from the dead since then. As we continue, this is something that I'm as we're watching the show, something that I'm starting to realize is it feels as though Ray is just learning how to be a kid again. It feels as though throughout this whole thing, he's because of trauma, because of disassociation, because of everything that's happening in his life, he's put up a boundaries and a wall of disassociation with others and not trying to form these interpersonal relationships that at times I genuinely wonder, is he learning how to be a kid again and how to form these relationships? I have ADD and I did a lot of masking growing up as most of my peers rejected me from my hyperfixations and overexcitement, so not really. Well, Sierra, I hope you know you're never gonna be rejected here. At least like in this stream for hyperfixations or being super duper excited, dude. Like it's an open space, and I hope as an adult, like you know, if you're an adult, that like it's been getting better for you because that's big, dude. There's a lot of stigma around having ADHD or ADD or being on the spectrum, you know, and it's a lot. It's a lot. Like for example, some people might not know this, but I can get randomly fixated on one topic and like learn everything I need to learn about it, and then like move on from it, right? Like not really stay hyper fixated on it. But if you were to ask me, for example, Ed, do you know how to go ahead and build a Warhammer 40K subject, like army? I do. Do I know how to play the game? That's another subject. Do I know some of the lore behind Warhammer? Yes. Do I know how to play it? No. Ed, do you know about like some of the best strategies to win in Civ 6? Absolutely. Do you have the patience to play it? Depends. I feel that, Sierra, you're not alone there. Yeah. Yeah, dude, you should never feel alone. But it also comes down to the responsibilities that we hold and the roles that are placed on us. For example, older brother, older sister, um, you know, friend, lover, partner, therapist, psychologist, whatever roles are being thrown our way, it often carries so much weight in our life. And I guess a big aspect is what role has had the best impact in your life and the worst impact in your life. I'll be honest, sometimes carrying the role and the expectations that come with being like the youngest brother, the youngest, one in the family. Sure, I don't carry the being the pillar of being like the old, like, the oldest brother, but as the youngest one, I have to live up to the expectations of the shadows that have been cast by my two older brothers. Ooh, I'm gonna get real here, and and this will relate to the show, right? Because now, one of them, credible individual, they both have worked military and done, worked in the government and so on and so forth. But none of them have like higher level education or degrees, right? Like in like really, really whatnot. So now that like I'm, getting my PsyD, working through all of it, guess what? It's like there might be times where imposter syndrome and like, am I really breaking out of their shadow comes in? Or am I forever to just be the expectation or the rule, like the benchmark that is being set to just try and live in this world, which can be quite a bit. And I know this happens for everyone, for a lot of people. So I'll throw that out again. What expectations, what role has been the best one or the worst one for you? Rainy Winter, now that you mention it, Ray being a kid again, I just realized my fixations on fantasizing about dating older people may comes from the desire to be treated as someone inexperienced and mommied for a while. Or in other words, to get the chance to actually be a kid this time. Rainy. Oh, Rainy. I mean, yeah, it does happen. And honestly, that's sort of why people, some people really go into the age gap thing. And some people really get into age play because at times they want to go ahead and heal some of that inner trauma, some of that inner child that they never got to go and experience. Being the older sister by a few years and being a default babysitter and practically third parent is the role that caused me the most grief and struggled with the most. Ooh, Sierra, dude. The best role for me, though, is being that supportive friend who always just listens. So, Sierra, I gotta ask you, being the role of the third parent, did anyone ever give you the time to be genuinely give you the time to be a kid? And not just because you were hyper fixating on stuff or you were going back and forth on situations, but did you ever got to experience a time where you didn't have those pillars set on you and were free? Before transitioning from, say, Sierra, the babysitter, to now, because and I'm also kind of, I'm so curious because sometimes we take on a lot of those roles into our own personal lives. So for example, say that you are the role of a caregiver, and we're relating this to Ray, right? You're the role of a caregiver, and that's all you've learned to do when you were like growing up, right? You have to take care of your younger siblings, and you go into a relationship, and it might be a really toxic relationship, but in your mind, you're like, I'm a caregiver. This is what I do. I put up with situations where they might be yelling and they might be doing certain stuff, i.e., you might get into an abusive or a toxic relationship and start making excuses for them because for you, you're a caregiver and you think you can fix them. Yeah, everyone that's sharing your story, you guys are absolutely amazing. I love each and every single one of you guys. You guys are absolutely brave souls. And thanks for being open. And this is a safe space for that, And Kyle, dude, I love you. You're incredible. Weirdly enough, the only moments I felt as a kid was school, and I hated school, but that's where my friends were. I felt they were the only ones I could talk to. Noodler, yeah. Honestly, yeah, the only reason why I went to school, for at least high school, was for my friends. Just straight up. And middle school as well. Like I did really, really good. I didn't have to study for like any test. But if I'm being honest, the only reason why I went was because my friend and my support structure was there. Also, escapism is very common. Anyway, so how does this relate to Ray? Right, and I think this is a big thing that I'm jumping into. is he trying to go ahead and, because he's starting to go to see the concepts of growth and family and whatnot, heal moments of his inner child, because there's a lot of trauma that is being placed there. He has a lot of expectations from both familial and whatnot that have been thrown his way, where he might have disrupted a whole family unit. In his head, he takes on the responsibility of disrupting a family unit where the sister left and all of these things, right? And that sense of guilt for being taken care of, for disrupting whatever, he might try and go ahead and appease that guilt by paying into his now father, right? So going through that, like, that's sort of where my brain is why, what does monetary value genuinely hold for someone that took on the role or the mantle of a father? And for him, would he like that if he was a father in that way? And also, follow-up question to you guys. If you guys were to become parents, what is one thing that you won't do that your parents did? Throwing tough questions at you right away.
会長、もうあっち行ってください。まあ、会長の言う通り、お前が成人するまで私が預かっておくが、
Until you come of age.
いつでも言いなさい。
He's like, I don't need your money, dude, but...
そうだ。京子はどうしてる？お前のところへよく行っているようだが、迷惑かけてないか？
え？どういう？
言ってないのか。やっぱ。
Oh no.
俺にはもうあいつの考えてることがさっぱりわからんのだ。
お父さん、姉さんは。
コダ八段、桐山五段、すみません、お写真の方よろしいですか？
どうしたらいい？話すべきか。
Oh.
このことを知ったら父は。
Yeah.
そして姉はどうなる？
That's a lot of weight, though. That is, and this is why he may be sinking. He's on a lifeboat where other people are putting down their weights of expectations on this boat, and he's out in the middle of the sea. And he knows that if he releases some of these weights, some of these expectations, and he opens up about him, there might be more trauma, more sharks that come and take a piece of that boat away. That's a tough position to be in. Do you open up and share what is truly going on, you know, and have some of that weight of guilt lifted off of you, but yet know for a fact that she might come after you and be a lot more vocal about it? Is the father a bad parent to him or in general? Well, we'll get into that because I did want to touch about that. Damn you, Ed. I want my children to explore the world around them, and I just help educate on the dangers that could arise to help them become independent and enjoy exploring life as a child. I also hope they feel comfortable enough to explore what they like and try it out and learn as many new things as they want. Kyle, that's a beautiful answer. That is an absolutely beautiful answer. My biggest thing that I want for my kids is I want them to know that I will never have any expectations about their future for the, like, in terms of like hard expectations, pushing them to do certain things to them. It's up to them to find what they're passionate about. I don't want to go ahead and force them to do a science major or a math major or anything like that. I want them to thrive and literally find what they're passionate about and explore all the endless possibilities and love what they want to go ahead and love and do what they need to go ahead and do. And I never want them to feel like they have to take on the role of a parent, of literally being a pillar in the family, because at the end of the day, that's my job as a father figure, right? If I was a dad, that would be my job as a dad, to quite literally make sure that not just the basic needs of Maslow's hierarchy of needs are met and all of these things, because that's just being a parent. But being a good father, being a good parent is supporting them. I don't care if they're into dance, if they're into, you know, whatever sport they might be into. They might be into chess or whatever. And if I have to take time off of work to go and support them, I will. I will be there for every single match that I can be, because life is short and those memories that you spend with your kids are so important. I can't even express that enough. Like, I want to make sure that not just as a parent, but as a partner to whoever I'm with, that they know that, like, They don't just have someone that's going to go ahead and like shift off the responsibilities onto them, be like, I have to work or whatever. Nothing like that. In fact, it's a dual, it's like your partner in crime. And both of you should be trying to go ahead and like raise your kids to be better than you. Raise your kids to have a more fulfilling life than you have had. And that's what my goals are. Anyway, sorry. You're a wizard, Harry. You're a wizard, Harry. Yes, I love this. I'm glad you like it, Kyles. I've hoped that people share similar expectations and goals. I had academia shoved down my throat since elementary, and it sucked. Yeah, it can be quite a bit. That's for me. That's one of the big sources of guilt that's always been thrown my way. Academia in general, which is like something else. I have an answer for the worst role I've been given. My mom ended up having a third child with a different man. The man was quite abusive, and after a while, she managed to muster up the courage to kick him out. But my brother still had to see him weekly because of the court decision. But like I said, the man is abusive and kept trying to make my mom do something about my brother seeing that man. I felt I was powerless to do anything. I still feel like it. Noodler, if you're... I want to go ahead and say this, and this might be a hard take to go ahead and take in, and this might be a good opportunity for those of you on YouTube that might need to hear it. If you are a kid, I'm going to go ahead and say this. If you are a child, that responsibility, the weight of those decisions did not land on you, or did not land on you back then. The guilt is not yours for you to take on. I know it might feel like you could have changed something. That maybe if you did the certain things, maybe certain decisions could have stopped. But you were just a kid. At the end of the day, it's up to the parents, to your mom, to adults, supportive adults around, to have started making steps to go ahead and start helping out your brother, or whoever that may, for his own personal betterment. And when it comes to a situation like that, if you're an adult now, I'm going to go ahead and ask this of you. If your brother is old enough, ask him how you felt about it. Have a conversation about it. How did you feel about going weekly over to this person's house, to this person's place? This is sort of how we start finding out what's really going down in our life and how we can help others along the way. And honestly, if there's any form of abuse or anything like that, it's a way for people to start opening up and sharing those stories. It's huge, man. But thank you for sharing, Noodler. It's more of a self-imposed role. It is, man. And I feel it. In general, I think more of the times that angered Coco is when he defended Ray. Yes, but my thing is, Geek Meme, my big thing with the father here, with Ray's adoptive father, is his responsibility. Yes, he is earning money and everything, and yes, he is trying to bring up Ray as best as he can, right? Considering all the trauma that he's gone through. I know mental health is not a big thing in Japan, but it should be. If it was here in the States, and let's say that I was Grim, Rainy, whoever you want to go ahead and put in is my partner, right? And we have a kid, or we adopt a kid, or take him in, and they just suffered everything that Ray did. My first priority is to go ahead and get that kid into counseling, to go ahead and get that kid into being able to go ahead and express his trauma, and be able to go ahead and get through that, right? Because that kid needs to be able to express himself and work through that trauma, not drown in the weight of that trauma. Not start seeking, like, it's literally, you'll start developing coping mechanisms and defense mechanisms that are off of there, while also making sure that the family system is still really well in place. Making sure that the kids know that they are loved, right? That by bringing in this new kid, that they're not being replaced, right? And second off, by showing, hey, we can be proud of him and still be proud of you guys, because we're all individuals and we all have to share that love and compassion. If I start yelling at you guys, or only bringing up, say, Finfran, right? If I'm like, wow, Finfran's amazing. Look at Finfran. Finfran won this chess tournament. Isn't he wonderful? Oh, but Kyle's didn't. Kyle's did not do well in that chess tournament. I'm gonna go ahead and give you coal for Christmas. In Bonfire, Bonfire, I'm disappointed in you. You could have made nationals, but you didn't. Why can't you see that Finfran is so good? We're gonna go ahead and highlight him. Wow, and I'm only praising Finfran instead of going ahead and being like, all right, why don't we go ahead and work on it? Let's find ways to go ahead and like make you even slightly better or something like that. All of a sudden, Joke's on you, I love Cole. All of a sudden, what ends up happening is a fucked up power dynamic, and this is why there might be resentment. Kyle's growing up might be like, I hate my dad. I'm gonna do everything. I'm literally gonna start, and this is an example. I'm gonna start dating older men in order to get back at my dad, because at least that's a father figure that loves me and won't leave me. Or even if he does leave me, you know, I can find a way to go ahead and like get back to him. Or maybe it's that push and pull factor that they're into. And maybe Bonfire on the other side might be like, I want to start writing bad articles about this particular sport and everyone involved in it. I'm going to start hating on it because of the experience that I had with my father, where the only thing I knew was that he cared if people succeeded in this business. That's sort of where it's at, dude. And that's why good parenting, there needs to be it needs to be differentiated between being a parent, right, or being the bare minimum of a parent, providing a person food, shelter, water, a place to sleep, so on and so forth, and being a good parent, being a great parent, and being involved in your kid's life, and not giving them some fucked up roles and expectations that are being placed on them. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to go this hard. We're 6 minutes in, and we skipped the intro, so realistically, we're 5 minutes in. That was right on the money. That is something oh no. As kids that they are, never did for me, but I wish she did. I'm relatively sure. My mom never wanted to acknowledge. Oh, Nude. I'm sorry, Nude Noodler. But dude, just know that this is a safe place for everyone. And if you guys want to express and share your stories, that's what it's here for. This is a good opportunity for everyone to grow and learn, and even sometimes draw from our own experiences onto what's happening. That's awesome. And dude, New Noodler, have you ever thought of seeking a counselor or anything, or a therapist or whatnot, maybe to try and get some of those diagnoses? A sun shower. Bruh. It's like you go take a pee and right next to you, like, you know, Magnus Carlsen is right there. In the silence. Oh, this is powerful, man. It's a good self-reflective moment, even while looking at like, I guess when looking at ponds, when looking at lakes, when looking at everything, right? It's a really, really powerful moment of self-reflection. Not puddles, but lakes, you know, or any big body of water. How do I put this? I wonder how lonely he is. Being at the top can be very, very lonely, and oftentimes, even being a content creator can be very lonely. I know that, you know, we have a lot of support from community and whatnot. In terms of any content creator, they have their Discords, they have everything. But genuinely, sometimes just there's a difference between the interactions that they might have, like through Discord and stuff. But the rarity it truly is to connect with others on a personal level is huge. Or for them to genuinely be able to go ahead and like not feel lonely in the grand sphere of that is content creation, it's also big. So if you guys are going through something like that, like, and if you guys are even starting to doubt, like, maybe I should just go ahead and not do stuff, or maybe I should just stop streaming or stop trying to go out and create content. My views are only getting 1 view a day, if that, or maybe 1 view and that was it. Don't stop. Keep going. I know this is weird, and this might be a weird time for me to go out and say this, but if this is a sign, this might be the weirdest sign out there, but it just popped in, and I guess I gotta say it. The times will always be changing, right? And on one moment, you might not necessarily have people watching your thing, and another moment, you might have a lot of people. It's a weird wave cycle that comes through. But if you've been trying to go out and start a project and you feel like quitting and whatnot, keep going. Keep doing what if it makes you happy, keep doing it. If you need to go ahead and take a step back and breathe, that's okay. But if you love what you're doing, the content creation aspect, if you love going ahead and starting something and going through with it, even if, for example, even with my content, I've been told this like time and time again. Your videos are long, but they've actually made me think, and they made me do so many things. The end of the day, my goal was never to become a billion subscriber YouTube content creator, Twitch streamer, or anything like that. It was to make at least an impact on one person's life. It was at least so that if one person felt lonely out there, to know that they never have to feel alone again. To know that there are people out there who genuinely care about them. That you can break down anime and mental health concepts in shows like this and even relate to them and start to grow. And if there's one person that takes that message away, I'm happy. That is my end goal, and that will forever be my end goal. That's why I've never tried to put on a Patreon, a Ko-Fi, anything like that. And for the longest time, all of my videos were unmonetized. Because it was never about profit. It was never about anything like that. And it probably never will be. It's always about what impact, because let's be honest, for me personally, I know mental health is not available for everyone. And I know for a fact that people struggle with it. And there's a lot of stigma. Trust me, I've faced a lot of stigma recently for doing this. I've been criticized a lot for coming through and analyzing characters, and people being like, you can't do certain things, and trying to shoot it down, but you can. Case studies are done, and the amount of impact that this can have on a person's life is mental health is health, and it's important. And for each and every single one of you, this is why I'm throwing it out there. Keep doing it, guys. Don't stop. Even if I know rebranding can be a lot. I know that sometimes, especially if you're a VTuber, or sometimes a big shift in the content might shock some people and might make them go. But do what makes you happy. Because at the end of the day, if you're not happy, that'll show. And that won't make you want to continue. So do something that makes you happy and keep striving for it. And if you ever feel like, dude, I need to reach out, I need to talk to somebody, I'm here for you, dude. I know it sounds fucking weird. And sometimes people message me randomly at 2 or 3 in the morning, not expecting an answer, but I'm up doing homework and I respond back. There's Discord. I'm usually always there. There's 101 ways, guys. So support others, show that love and support and respect to other content creators, Kyle's, SB, anyone and everyone out there, guys, because it takes a lot to be vulnerable, and it takes a lot to come on stream and or on YouTube and show yourself and do what needs to be done. Also, thanks so much for the follow, Tarongi. I appreciate it. Anyway, thank you for all you've done. Oh, thank you, FinFan. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys. You guys are incredible.
おいこらそうやこのバカタレがおいこら主役もう一体どこ消えたかとああもう濡れてんじゃねえかおい桐山お前そばにいたなら連れてきてよほら行くぞお前も来い
はいすみません
もう会が始まるのに主役がここにいていいわけなかろうよもう
息を飲んだ
No worries, dude. Take your time. Oh.
気配がなかった。
Yeah?
彼の姿を見た瞬間、世界から音が消えた。
姿が変わらないんだ。時間が止まってるっていうか。
記憶の底で誰かが囁いた。彼が消えたその刹那。空が破け、重たい雨が降り。
How is that? If somebody said that to you guys over and over again, and you kept hearing this as a rumor, or even like in the passing by that you aren't human, what would that do to you? To me, I would feel isolated. I would feel like I can't express myself. I would feel like I just have to go there and get the job done and dip. Like, all I have to do is go ahead and, if they don't see me as human, that might take that on as a challenge and literally keep going. My big question would come down on why, especially for him.
あの人と戦うのか。 島田さん。
Wow. Friend, you ain't no robot.
不思議な光景だった。
Yeah?
彼が会場に入ると、音が消え、人垣が2つに割れた。
ああ、すいません皆さん、お待たせしました。こいつ庭にいましたよ。
Turns out he was in the car.
もうやんなっちゃうよ。ねえ。じゃあ始めましょうか。ほらそうや、壇上へ。
15歳、中学生でプロになり、21歳、最年少で名人に就位。その後、将棋界の歴史を次々と覆し、史上初7大タイトル全てを制覇。そしてそれから十数年の年月、玉座に君臨し続けるも、その姿は変わることなく、焦せず、産まず、汚れず、圧倒的な力でそこに、静かにそこにあり続ける。
よう、久しぶり。
神に例えられるその一方で、誰かが言った。きっと悪魔っていうのはああいう顔しているんだろうな。
では続いて島田八段お願いします。
皆様こんばんは。今日は平日にもかかわらず多くのファンの方々にお越しいただきありがとうございます。挑戦者になって3週間ほど経ちましたが、非常に慌ただしい。
前夜祭が終わる頃、島田さんが言った。
2つだ。あの化け物相手に白星をまず2つ出ないとたどり着けない。
Dude.
6局目が俺のふるさとなんだ。
So this is a match between two of them, and how many matches are there? Is it 3 or is it 7? My big question, and not really a big question, but again, this comes down to stress, right? If we're going to be realistically, the amount of stress and the amount of whatnot for a young kid, for middle schoolers particularly, to be pushed out into the world, to be thrown out there, and literally be told, hey, you know, or like this is sort of what you're going for. I would start wondering, right? What happened for them to just become so invested in this one particular thing? It's okay if you do it for the social aspects, but for him, I don't see him doing this for the social aspect. Could it be hyperfixation? Probably, right? He could just be hyperfixated in it. This is his life purpose. I mean, it happens to some people. But is he getting joy out of this? Does he genuinely feel alive in this? There's so many questions that come down to it. Probably a family legacy or something. Could be. Like family expectations and whatnot. But then comes the next big one, which is, when would you feel it's time for you to move on? There comes a time where everything must come to an end, right? And I wonder how he would take a loss, like a really, really big loss. Would that like humble pie him? Would that? And also, if he was in middle school, would seeing a friend from his younger ages, hold on, chat. Sorry, guys. Yeah, it's Sam. Why does my mom keep telling me to stop crying even though I'm good at it? Oof, oof. Yeah? Oof. Anyway, sorry about that.
獅子王戦7番勝負第1局114手目にて投了レイ用事って何
Oh no, here we go again. Boys.
余計なこと言ったでしょメールで答えた通りだよ僕は何も言ってないカード止められた上にいろいろとにかく質問攻めにされたわどうしたらいいのよ
Good.
だから何も言ってないっていうかそれ姉さんの自業自得ってやつだろ自業自得何それ何その上から目線あんた何様ぐちぐち悩んでグダグダの将棋指してるくせに関係ないだろこの話とは
Oh, oh no. Oh, oh no. Oh, the baby ran up and hugged us. The family, the real family. Yeah, I mean, Momo's scared, but realistically speaking, I'm gonna be straight up. Hey, yo, I'm sorry, but was that daddy's money or was that your money that you were spending? Because all this time, it's like, yo, you should maybe start. If that was somebody else's money, oof, oof. True, the sister doesn't really have anyone there for her, though. As you were. Oh. Oh no.
残念だけど、ちょっと取り込み中だったみたいね。
A witch?
仕方ないわね。お稲荷さんは私。
Is she a witch? And the sister's like, let's go home. There's not, we'll not address that. We will not address if she is a witch. We will literally just, let's go home and eat some fried tofu, please.
食べちゃいましょう。でも。それにしても、レイ君もまた手強そうな子。誰よ、あの人たち。
近所の世話になってる人たちだよ。
Oh, that's family right there, man. That is family right
あ
there.
の家なんだ。またかわいそうぶって取り込んだんでしょ。
Don't you fucking dare go there, dude. That's all. Oh, you're projecting so fucking hard. You are and what are you doing, right? Maybe you're trying to get into older married men's lives and try and be the daughter that they never had so that you can wreck their relationship as well, right? Or maybe you're so broken that you decide to go ahead and pick on someone that's already trauma-filled because, oh no, daddy didn't like me, so I'm gonna go ahead and like try and torture and bully other people who have had a significantly worse life because dad, I can at least feel a little bit better, right? Fuck you. I had a bunch of papers there filled with information, but fuck you. Oh, she's so she's project. But then realistically, I'm gonna be straight up. That's what a lot of people do. A lot of people project their insecurities onto others. A lot of people. That's their main thing is when they feel attacked or when they feel threatened or like they're losing power, they're going to do everything they can to go ahead and make sure that you stay within their power domain. That happens so many times within a relationship. So many times, a toxic relationship at least, you know, where they will literally gaslight you. They will literally use family events or names, titles, whatnot. Oh, Pookie Bear, or oh, you know, Finfranu, or whatever nickname that they have for you, in order to go ahead and keep you acclimated to the current power dynamic that is set. It's wild. It's right, you gotta step up. Boundaries, bro. Unless sister turns around and goes into biz like, fuck you. Please.
じれったくて胸がバクバクした。石みたいに白いレイちゃんの表情に、私たちの知らない横顔に。
Oh, please. Go save him, dude.
一度もこちらを。
Oh, my heart, don't...
レイちゃん、これ食べて。お姉ちゃんと作ったの。卵とごまがいっぱい入ってて甘くてとっても美味しいから。食べると元気出るから絶対食べて。
Oh. Oh, that's so beautiful. I'm about to fucking cry. She unknowingly broke the power dynamic that was being set, dude. That tension, because that whole, you know, him starting to go and topple under when someone's talking to you like that, normalizing it, making her seem in the wrong. Oh, dude, because oftentimes we see this quite a bit, dude. We see this quite a bit with a lot of people, like, you know, even on passing by where they're in a toxic relationship. And you can tell that sometimes they just need someone to go ahead and normalize it. Give... Oh. Like, so to someone be able to go ahead and come in and, like, give them that love and support and whatnot. And, oh, dude, this is powerful stuff. Oh. Oh. Don't say things like this, okay? I hope we can hear that. Oh. Oh. This show is one of those shows where it really relies on, they love him so much, right? Just a little. And that, Buzen, that's actually a question I'm gonna say is, what part though? Is it, are you pissed at the fact that, like, there was a girl there with him, or are you just pissed at the fact that he's not stating back? That's what I'm curious about. That's what I would kind of want to ask on it, John, there. But my question for you guys is, and as a way of growth and as a way of reflecting, have you ever had friends like that? Friends, family, loved ones, whatnot, that you have genuinely felt loved? Like, you have felt like even in the worst of days you can reach out to, or when they've seen you, they've all gathered around you and tried to cheer you up. And if you haven't, do you want friends like that? Do you want a relationship like that? Do you want individuals who, you know, you can have an image of, that even in your last days when you take your final breath, that they will still have some pleasant memories of you, and vice versa, you of them when those days come? Might not be a friend that you spend, or friends that you spend forever with, you know, like in terms of like you have to spend every day with, but like people that you genuinely feel safe sharing stuff with, the people that you genuinely feel like it's time for you to grow, or even partners, right? And if you're in a relationship, is this your forever relationship, or is this just an opportunity for you to, like, experience more things in life? I have a saying that I use in therapy because it helps people contextualize what our relationships can be, right? Which is, people come into our lives for you know, for a time, right? For a season, or for a reason. You know, people either just pass us by, people are here for a little bit, a season, right? Or people are here with us for a reason. And when we start in like facing our interactions like that, or relationships like that, sometimes we can find value in even the short relationships that we form. She's one of the few people that sort of know Ray's family dynamic. Raccoon, thanks so much for the hydrate. So definitely both. Yeah, feel like I'm in a hole. No one's coming to give me a ladder. Well, Real Grim, what can we do to even, like, I know we can't be there physically, but what can we do to go ahead and give you maybe a ladder? How can we support you? For those of you guys that genuinely feel like you might be stuck in a pit, that might be in a dark hole, because I've been in that dark hole. What can we do that can help you out a little bit? For me personally, this just goes back to the dating older people thing. Fuck. I really do have mommy daddy issues. I gotta work on that. Rainy winters, oh. But it depends. Like, are you doing it healthily or are you doing it unhealthily? Like, is that the only thing that you go for, older people? And is it not because you're attracted to them, like because of physical appearances or whatnot? Is it just because they're older? And then my next question for you is, not the only, no, yeah. And I guess the next big question for you is, do you feel like you're growing and learning in those relationships, or do you feel like it's a one-sided thing? Or yeah, at first they might want you because they want to get to know you, but after a while it's just like the whole innocent thing of dating someone younger. Because a lot of people are into that. I hate to bring it up and make it real, but that's what a lot of people are into, and that's why a lot of people go for either younger and or older, more experienced individuals, you know, quote unquote. And she still takes her. Oh, dude. Why is she eating his food? That's...
そんなこと言われても勝手についてきて勝手に食べて文句ですか。そうですか。
She was berating you. She was berating you. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd feed her. I don't mind feeding her. I would love to have a conversation with her and get in her mind and see where all of this is stemming from. And you know, I love a dommy mommy or a mommy with issues. Don't get me wrong, but but at the same time, boundaries, bruh. Boundaries. You want to.
私家庭的でしょみたいな男の子の一人暮らしこういうのに飢えてんでしょ的なでオクラとブロッコリー
Step on me the same stage first.
茹でてごま油ですよ
I'm glad, Real Grim.
シャクシャクシャクもぐもぐ
姉さんそろそろ帰らないと母さんが晩ご飯
She ate him.
スカートきつ苦しい
You ate my food? You best be going with me to McDonald's or Mickey D's. Yeah. you best be getting me some food, because clearly but honestly, Grim, I appreciate the fact that the streams have been helping you guys, and I know for some people, hearing a familiar voice in the background, even laughing or whatnot. I was told this earlier this week, which kind of impacted me and made me tear up a little bit, which is, as someone has been going through a really, really hard time, I'm not going to share their name, of course, because they've been lurking for a bit, but they watch my streams a lot, right? They watch a lot of the Vods, and sometimes they just throw them on in the background as noise, because hearing a familiar voice or hearing someone that's talking in a genuinely empathetic way and laughing and all of these things, for them makes them feel more comfortable and like at home, and that someone's there and genuinely cares about them. And, you know, as I've told them, hey, like, it's okay, like the Discord and like everyone, like if you want to express yourself, you can, like, you can always say something. No one's ever going to judge you for saying, oh, whatever you want to go ahead and say on Discord or on Twitch or whatever, right? But what I've heard is like, though, they're like, yeah, sometimes just the background noise, like putting you on in the background while I'm doing something or whatnot. Like my brain is still processing a lot of like the topics that you're talking about, and it's just like coming home to a familiar voice, and it just feels so comfortable. I made these streams have made me more comfortable with chatting on live streams in general. I'm glad, man. That's what it's about. That's what it's about, taking those steps to, like, you know, just gradually getting more and more comfortable. But man, this relationship between the two of them, she has such a commanding presence that I think as a character, she's very well written. If a character can come on screen and instantly you feel an emotion about them, that's huge. And just the fact that like she's able to go ahead and command so much of his life, for me, it's.
お腹いっぱいになったらなんか眠くなってきちゃう。
Is she a bad person though? Chat, would you say that she is a bad person? That she's evil? I don't think so. I don't think she's evil. I think she's she's hurt. I think she's an individual that's hurt. And I think because an individual that's hurt, it's just like when you have paint on your hands, you know, and you try because you're hurt, or like, you know, you have a wound on your hands and you're like trying to go ahead and like stop the wound from bleeding, but instead of like putting pressure, you start putting your hands on other people and, you know, it spreads out there. I don't think she's a bad person. I don't think she's evil. I think she's hurt. And because she's been hurt, she projects that hurt onto others. In my head, that's a very broad question. She's deeply flawed. Yeah. I would stay far away from her, right? I probably wouldn't be best friends with her. But I don't think she's evil. But oftentimes, here's the thing, and the reason why I bring this up is because people give roles and narratives to others, right? Also, hello to everyone that's here. Welcome to Sangatsu Analysis. So, for example, if you've been through a friendship or relationship breakup or anything like this is why I'm talking about this character in particular. People give the role of you being the villain in their story. At some point in time, we all have been the villain in someone's story. Is that the truth, though? Probably not. Probably, you know, we're all flawed individuals. We all have different flaws and whatnot. But when it comes to her in particular, I think her flaws are very obvious, right? Her hurt, her trauma is very obvious as well. But the way that she interacts with others is within the realm of viability. It's within the realm of psychologically being found, right? Being profound and being true, i.e. she will hurt others. She will hurt others because she's hurt, because that's the way that she's learned to get attention. She kind of reminds me of my youngest sister, who has borderline, very self-centric and draws people into her storm. For me, it's like, I get why she acts the way she does, but I hate her so much. Oh. Yakobu, thanks so much for the follow, man. I appreciate it. Absolute goat. With the Bochi logo. I love Bochi, man. Bochi's phenomenal. Holy crap. You just reminded me of the whole show, like, instantly. I saw your name pop up. I was like, oh. Go home. Find the snags. How'd you find the channel, Yokobu? I'm curious. She's the One-chan, dude. Hello, I absolutely love your psychology analysis tweets. Thank you so much for coming on in, Yakobu. I appreciate the follow. We're currently watching Sangatsu no Lion, currently taking it in. We're really close to the end. And we're seeing a lot of actually interesting cycles start popping up from this. Also, dude, heck yeah. Was there anyone in particular or any analysis in particular that stands out for you? Whether it's like Ram Subaru. I have a lot more to do. I have a couple. I have one that's coming out soon on Oshino Coast, particularly just the journey that we went through in episode 1, and then another one on Aqua. I'm thinking about doing one on Araragi-kun from... I love this anime. Oh, heck yeah! I'm thinking about doing one on Araragi-kun from Monogatari. Just the first couple of seasons that I've seen, you know. And I have a couple more people that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, Monogatari thread, it might be a little spicy, I'm not gonna lie. But nonetheless, it's still really interesting to analyze characters. It's a case study. And at the end of the day, this is what I love to throw out there, right? It's like whenever we analyze stuff, it's never about fully understanding a character 1,000%. It's about understanding maybe their motives or why they start doing what they do, right? Because I'm not going to go ahead and give a diagnosis. No, it's like looking at things like this and understanding, okay, they have this, which might lead to this, which might lead to this, which this might happen. You know, it's like Incredibles ways of going ahead and like detailing it our way down a scenario. That's why I love doing the threads. That's why I love analyzing anime and all of this. It's a good way of understanding myself as well. Also, I presented some of the case studies of some characters to my supervision team recently, to the team that like I help out and I supervise. They make great case studies, guys. That's all I gotta say. Like the therapist that I supervise and stuff, they were like, "Where'd you get this? This is so spicy." Like, where there'll be a psychological thesis about why Senjo Gahara is the best girl on the show. I can make one, Violet, though. I actually can make one. Hold on. The oldest. The kid. Hey, wait. Hey, wait a minute. Twitter? Is that you? Hold on. This reaction from Coco sort of made her likable for me. It is. I think, as I said, I feel like she's just misunderstood, and she probably has a lot of hurt and pain, and she just lets it out from time to time. I mean, toxicity does happen like that, especially from inner trauma, dude. Like it leaks out from time to time, you know. And if it goes unchecked, if there's no good mental health counseling or ability to address it, well, guess what? It garners more energy and becomes even worse, like over time. She needs a support system, absolutely. Dad, we agree on that. Oh.
どうするのさこれから。父さん心配してたよ。
知らないわ。父さんっていつもずれてるのよ。お世話になってるなら挨拶するから連れてきなさい。彼氏を。だって。20も年上で最大者で。おまけにかつて自分の弟でしたった男よ。
Not saying, you know, not saying anything that I brought up previously is, you know, psychologically related, comes in circles, and this is why it's been analyzed to death. You know, or not saying the fact that when I talked about attachment trauma and how, especially as a young kid, you know, if you experience a lot of trauma, especially due to a father figure and stuff, it might relate to really, really rough behavior, i.e. trying to get daddy's attention, going for married men because of father issues, especially older people, and especially trying to go out and ruin the dynamic, the social dynamic present because somebody ruined that social dynamically present for you when you were a kid, and how that might relate to you trying to go out and feel feelings of satisfactions off of that. But just saying, you know, psychologically, this does fall in line. There, I said it. Psychologically, this does fall in line with a lot of, like, you know, common trends and common scenarios that we've seen out there over time and time again. Displacement in relationships. You should put Ray as a case study to your peers. Would like to see their reactions to it. Honestly, they would probably tear up. I know for a fact one of them would definitely. They were tearing up over Paul. Actually, speaking of Paul Yakobu, dude, I'm so glad. I was so wrong about Paul Yakobu. I did Mushoku Tensei analysis, like the anime analysis, but I only kept it like through the perspective. I did not even take the cultural perspective on it. And I'm so glad I got to read the novels for it because, oh man, Paul is a good character. Is such an interesting character. Is he a struggling dad with issues? Yeah. Is he like, does the character have flaws? Absolutely, right? But Paul is a character that's trying, man. And he's trying to like go ahead and make up for his mistakes and all of that. Yeah. That's why like I can empathize with Paul, like especially after reading the novels and shit so much. I showed him off as a case study, right? Because I've been showing off different characters as a case study to a lot of like the peers. When it came to Paul, a lot of them started tearing up because a lot of them had grandparents and individuals like who came from not born in a first world country, and what they said is they made a lot of mistakes, not due because they wanted to, but because of their limitations at the time. And that fucking blew my mind when they said that. I was like, that is so important to go ahead and take in the cultural and the time alienation with it, right? Sometimes we only know what we know, right? And that's because of the times, that's because of society present, and that's because of so many things aligned itself with that. Why? Because fuckboys still do exist during this time period, right? Individuals who might be willing to do so many things, yeah. I find the idea of you walking up to your fellow psychologist and showing off Bochi's kind of hilarious and kind of cute. Well, no, Fin, the way that I present a character, and I'll show this off and I'll talk about Sangatsu because I'm going to be showing some of these characters too, is a case study. It is literally what we did with Oshinoko on Friday, which is age, their presenting problem. You know, for example, with Paul, it's about finding his family and feeling genuinely lost, you know, or like trying to go to like sort out his emotions. Give a brief synopsis of its backstory without making it seem as though it's from another world, and sort of like throw it off into their hands. So, for example, with Paul, it's like Paul is a middle-aged individual with, you know, he is in a polygamous relationship. He has 2 different wives, and you know, due to an incident, you know, he completely doesn't know where his family is. He only is in charge, like he's only caring for his one daughter, and you know, you start going over so many things as to how he has been entrusted with trying to go and find other people who may have been lost because of this natural disaster that happened. Literally, if you break it down and normalize it to today's content, oh, the impact it has on people when reading it, you're like, this poor man has lost a lot. And yeah, let's just say that it got really heated. People were trying to go ahead and like come up with the best support structure for them. And it's a really good way to get your psychological brain activated and processing information.
連れてけるわけないじゃない。
なんでそんなやつ選んだんだよ。
True.
知らないわよ。私が聞きたいくらいよ。あのチビ、人のこと魔女とか言いやがって。
The little bro. Oh, she actually heard that.
魔女ならこんな情けない苦労してないわよ。
I mean, even through that, I guess a big question that I would have for her is why is it that she can share these emotions in private but not in public? In public, she's coming off as this fierce lion that's about to devour its prey. But in the night, when no one else is around them, she opens up and is vulnerable and shares it like she doesn't even fully understand herself. This is starting to sound more and more as like with the person that might be on, like, yeah, that might have some issues. That might literally, like, not just some issues, but quite literally, it might have a personality disorder, if we're going to be realistic. The more that this is present and the more that it's prevalent, the more that it's popping up, the more that I'm starting to understand the whole, I hate you, but I love you. I'm not going to share any emotions with you, but I am sharing emotions with you, and I'm going to go deep with you. I don't want you to go ahead and do that, like, you know, fuck you, this is why you deserve to suffer, but don't tell dad because, you know, so on and so forth. Attachment trauma. We can go on and on and on. She needs help. She is a screaming flag for help.
ねえ、レイ、どうしよう。私。怖い。
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
その世の間中
Sounds good,
携帯
Sierra.
の
Appreciate
小さな
you.
液晶の明かりが幾度も
Have a good night.
幾度も
Appreciate you so much.
彼女の輪郭を淡く染めるのをただ見ていた。部屋中が青く染まって深い水の底に二人で。
This hurts me.
部屋中が青く染まって。
This hurts me on a level in a relationship and stuff. That's why I always say, hey, communicate what you're comfortable and not comfortable with. You know, because a lot of people have gone through a lot of stuff. I love how water is depicted. I know it almost seems like they're both of them have been drowning in this grand ocean that they've been swept under. How comfortable are you with your partner hiding their phone? Or imagine this, laying right next to your partner and them scooting away from you and looking at their phone and only seeing the dim light occasionally like brighten up their face and them smiling and giggling and, you know, so on and so forth. But when you ask them about it, they say, hey, nothing's wrong. Hey, you're just imagining things. Oh, it's nothing. But this one frame actually reminds me of yin and yang, if we're going to be realistic, which is really interesting that they both have different approaches to the amount of trauma that they've done. And sort of like the koi that we watched earlier, where both of them were staring at the pond and we saw like both of them looking at the fish, right? An individual that was claimed to be a prodigy that's at the top of his game. An individual who's quite literally claimed to be at a prodigy but is trying to work his way up. Now we get that similar reflection of two fish in the sea with yin and yang colors of black and white, you know, and vice versa. And they're both drowning. And they're both drowning because they can't communicate. And they're both drowning because one of them doesn't know how to properly communicate with others, and the other one can only communicate with the screen. And they're both looking in opposite directions instead of trying to connect with one another. This is, oh, dude, if you want to, yeah, this single frame is a powerful reference, you know, and they're both at different elevations throughout it, right? One's in the cold, hard floor, taking in life as hard as it can be, and the other one's always been elevated to a cushion, like they have cushion if they wanted to go ahead and like get up and get out. His face is in the darkness and hers is she's trying to illuminate it with fake light, while his is just being illuminated softly by the light of the outside. It's so beautiful, the power dynamic in this frame, in the story that's just being told off of this one single frame. One's looking at the windows, looking outside, while the other one's looking inside. Dude, yeah, I know. That's why it's like the frame and the framing in this one particular shot is just extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. One's drowning in darkness, one's yeah. Haven't seen the series, but I'm glad I stopped by the stream. Ash, I appreciate you so much for stopping in by. Guys, drop some Doritos for Ash for stopping in by. Ash, I appreciate you. Yo, if you don't mind me asking, dude, how'd you find the stream, by the way? Damn, that you put it now that way. Yeah, damn. What a show, dude. What a phenomenal show. Also, that's for you, man. Steins Gate's reaction, dude. Steins Gate might actually become anime of the month for my birth month for May. So we might go hard for it. Oh shit, this is wild. Like, the more that we take it in, the more that I'm like astounded by it, and the more that I'm just like taken back. Oh, thanks so much for the follow, Revenge Countdown. You're an absolute goat. Arigato. Thank you so much, man. I'm gonna throw some Doritos your way. I know. And what's interesting is that they both parallel. If you look at their stance, right, their body language, they're both. No, Bonfire, this is just gonna be me. Hi, Aisha, how you doing? Yeah, it's just gonna be me because I don't have time to wait. We're gonna be going through. Yakubu, thanks so much for the Prime. Aisha, incredible individual, another incredible content creator, another incredible Foxy popping on in here. Guys, drop some Doritos for Yakubu. Drop some Doritos for Aisha. Give a shout out to Aisha for being an incredible individual content creator. Dude, how have you been doing? What have you been up to? How's your streaming been? I love your ReZero vids. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We're gonna do a lot more light novel content, so if you guys are into that, like, please do let me know. Revenge Countdown, dude, are you gonna be watching season 3 with us? I hope you are. It's gonna be fucking goated, dude. Also, if you have any anime recommendations, always feel free to drop them, guys. If you're coming in, I really do take a look into them. Aisha is an incredible content creator, guys. I can't even say this enough. I've been wanting to go ahead and get her down here so that we can do an interview with her at some point in time. Show her some love and support. I've lately been seeing her play Monster Hunter, and I forgot what you were playing last week. I jumped in for a quick stream, but I know the mod was there because I was laughing a little bit. But Aisha, genuinely, dude, always feel free to stop on by, dude. Like I really want to have like I want to play a game with you or like have a full on like interview with you. I think it'd be amazing. I think live's the best. But when we're looking at this quickly, I love your ReZero videos, dude. I'm so happy. I'm so excited as well. Revenge Countdown, you're absolutely incredible, man. 10 out of 10, mate. And also, hey, I don't know how else to put this, but expect some interesting ReZero videos coming through. I'm gonna do some breakdowns of characters and throw them up on YouTube. Week before and getting over it this week. How are your ASMR videos? Is ASMR done like this? You've been a really good girl. Yeah. That's right, Finfran. You've been a really good boy. Who's a good boy? Is it done like that? I've always been curious as to like how how ASMR works, you know, like anyways, with that being said, back onto the screen. It's a special mic that's needed. Okay, fair. Kirby Cheese, dude. I appreciate that so much, dude. Yeah, no, I feel it. I feel like I might need to get a special mic. Isn't there, Kirby, correct me if I'm wrong, and you chat YouTube in case when this goes up. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there like a mic that's supposed to be like ears, and it represents what a user, if you had your headphones, what you could hear, like. But I do soft and quiet talking, not full whisper. Oh, okay. It's shaped like a head, yes. Also, Kirby, how'd you find the channel, man? Thanks so much for being here, everyone. For even stopping by, I sincerely appreciate it. Yeah, 3DO mic. Oh, shit. I might get that one day and literally just put it up and do a whole stream of, like, playing a horror game and trying not to scream in your guys' ears. Recommendations, but I was very close to clicking off since I arrived at the worst time. Oh, Kirby, no worries, man. Hey, no worries. Appreciate you being here, though, especially just through a recommendation or anything. If you know about me, then know that like I tend to do psychological analysis on a bunch of anime and video games and stuff. So even appreciate you being confident and taking the time to chat. It's a lot, dude. So A+. Does 3D make you tingle ed audio? Sometimes it does, yeah. Sometimes it does. But yeah, guys, if you guys have any recommendations for any anime or anything, do let me know. That would be absolutely goated. Anyways, let's go ahead and continue. Let's go ahead and keep talking. We're almost at the end of this, or am I about to go through a feel sensation? Or an XLR. Ooh. I hope my mic is doing okay. I recently had to transition into like a standing mic rather than the hanging mic, and that's been a big shift for me. Guys, if you're here, hey, know that on Friday we're gonna do Oshinoko episode number 2, because that's gonna be like Oshinoko Day. It'll be interesting. It'll be fun.
深い水の底に二人で ただただ沈んでいくような
Smoke Puncher, let's go.
夜だった。
Yeah.
じゃあまたねという言葉にうんと言いかけて口をつぐんだ。あの日引き裂かれるような思いであの家を出たのに姉も僕もこうして何も変わらないまま変えられないまま兄弟にも他人にもなりきれないまま。すみません。
Fuck.
遅くなりました。
ああ、いいよいいよ。何？走ってきたの？
Oh, fuck. If you have siblings, how do you feel about your siblings? Because I think that what you just stated here is a concept that oftentimes a lot of people try to navigate or try to redirect, which is like, oh, they're my siblings, so I have to love them. And it's like, no, you don't. You can put up your boundaries with your siblings as well. You know, sometimes your siblings can even be complete strangers, and you might know a stranger more so than your sibling. This hurts because for me it's like, what ties are you guys bound with? And that's oof.
すみません。掃除当番が長引いて。
掃除当番。 おお、久々に聞くよ。懐かしいな、その単語。そっか。お前本当にまだ学生なんだな。早く入ってくれ。
You really are a
さっきから
student.
二階堂がお前のこと待ちかねててな。
おお、来たか桐山。勝ったぞ最終局。これで来季はお前と同じ C1 だ。
Oh,
声でけえよお前。あと態度もな、ほんとイラッとくるね。
重田さん、残留決定おめでとうございます。いやもうドキドキでしたね。もうちょっとで同じクラスになれちゃうとこかと思いましたよ。
何それ、どこ見てたの？どこの将棋界の情報？もう余裕のシーズンでしたが何か？
でもまあ辛いニュースのやつがいなくて何より。俺も今季永久残留確定したし、まあなんつうか首の皮一枚っつうか髪の毛一本のギリギリの線だったけどね。
oh.
兄者が言うと重みが。
Orsted.
おめでとうございます。
Yakobu.
みんな目頭を押さえて。
ついに追いついたぞ桐山。直接対決が叶うことを楽しみにしてるぜ。なあライバル。
ああ、そうだな。
Oh,
そういった二階堂の表情が眩しすぎて目をすがめたら、
yeah.
まぶたに今朝の顔もがよぎった。来月僕は18になり、1年遅れで高2になる。何も変えられなかったまま、また新しい春がやってくるのだ。
Has nothing really changed though? Because my thing is, no matter what, even living through life and going through our own expectations, so much starts changing with the way that we've attached and the way that he's attached to the family, and he's started to go out and talk and make friends and all of these things. And I think that this is why I think this show's phenomenal, because it's true. How many of you guys still feel that way? I'm sure that there's a lot of people out there who will say, "Oh yeah, nothing's really changed in my life," or "Nothing really happened." But yet a lot has happened for you. A lot has gone down. And oftentimes the stories that we tell ourselves impact our mental health and impact the way that we start perceiving others. It is what it is. Touch me. But that's why I bring it up. Well, I say that even though a lot has changed, yeah. But sometimes we downplay it so much that it really impacts our perception of things, right? Our perception as to like what it means for our own self, like personal growth. Like, have you ever been proud of the growth that you've taken? The more things change, the more they stay the same. In some aspects, yeah. So much has happened that it feels as if nothing has happened at all. With that, I guess I'll end this episode by, because the more that I'm thinking about this, and I really want to, at the end, I'll do an analysis. I'll do a case study on Ray at the end of the season, I guess. I'll ask this to people in general, which is, in what ways have you grown? And in what ways do you want to continue to grow? With that being said, YouTube, hit that like button, subscribe here on Twitch. Dude, we're about to go into another one.